I can't see. Oh my god. Okay, I think this might work. I think this might work. However, I currently can barely fucking see because I just like blinded myself with the light. Anyway, hello my bookish friends and besties. So, welcome to today's video, right? Okay, so, oh, my eyeballs hurt after that. Oh my god, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Oh my god, hang on. Okay, that's nice. Just give me a minute. Okay, I might do my intro like this. I don't know where you're at, honestly. Hi. Oh, my head hurts after that. Anyway, hello, bookish friends and besties. Hi. Welcome. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, you are in for a fucking treat, okay? Because I'm just like, I'm crazy. And I get even like more crazy when I'm tired, because it just like delulu, okay? I meant to film this earlier because it's currently 7:22 p.m. but I've been doing stuff around the house today, so I'm like exhausted. So I have a little Alani. Can you see the flavor? There we go. A little blue slush Alani. Pick me up, because what the fuck? I'm so tired, and I'm sure you can tell by my like mood and stuff. But anyway, today we are going to be talking about my June TBR. Now, please hold. My nail is to help. Hang on. Excuse me. I need assistance. Ah! I did just use one of my medication things to open my Alani. You know what? Iconic. Is it iconic? I actually don't know. Oh, that's the good thing. That's the good stuff. Okay. Anyway, okay. June TBR. Now, normally, and in future TBRs, we will have a wheel spin and like a TBR jar, and I will explain it all in my like July TBR video. However, for this video, for this TBR, I basically went through my challenges that I'm doing throughout the year. I have like 4, no, please hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have like 5 main. I'm sorry that the light is fluctuating. I don't know what to do about it, honestly. But I went through my 5 main year challenges. I am doing a couple like in the background, but I'm not including those. But I went through those and chose quite a lot from those, and then I also put some in here that I want to sneak in throughout the month. Now I am filming this in June, but it's okay. It's okay. We are gonna get over this fucking reading slump, okay? Guaranteed. So, the first 3 that I'm gonna talk about, I don't think any of them are on my challenges. I'm getting my Kindle app pulled up. See, proof, getting my Kindle app pulled up so that way I can read the descriptions for you guys. But basically the first 3 that I'm going to talk about are going to be in a reading vlog. So that's why I'm grouping them together. So, I have 2 on hold at my library to go pick up, and then I have 1 physical copy. Please hold. It opened the book that I was reading, which brings us to the segment of what am I currently reading and what am I currently watching, which is something I like to incorporate in these videos. I am currently reading, I just started The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards last night, which is on this list, so we will talk about it when we get to it. And we will talk about that book when we get to it. And then we also, what am I currently watching? I just recently finished watching season 3 of CSI New York. Slay. I tried watching Blue Bloods. Please hold. Have to cover my library, but started trying to watch Blue Bloods. I watched the first 4 episodes, and I am just not into this show, and I can't get into it. So I'm going to be dropping that show. And I'm waiting on season 4 and 5 to be at the library for me to pick up. But until they are, I'm thinking of doing Hawaii 5-0. is what I'm thinking. So the vlog is going to be giving authors a second chance. Now these are going to be mostly like mystery thriller authors, and me giving them a second chance. And I'm not going to go too in depth with like plots or anything, because I'll go more into why I'm giving the author the second chance and more stuff in that vlog. Please hold, I need to get this pulled up. So the first one we have is The Dare by Natasha Preston. I'm not going to read like the full description of every single book because I feel like sometimes they are just too fucking long. Like I feel like the descriptions sometimes are just too long. Like what is the reason for a long description, especially for like a mystery thriller, which I do have a lot of mystery thrillers on my TBR for the month. So, but this one is a short description. So, a thriller where a senior prank tradition turns dangerously deadly, and saying no may be just as terrifying as saying yes. In Marley's town, seniors are given a prank as a rite of passage, a dare if you will. The dare start out simple, egging houses, balloons filled with glitter, chickens running loose in the halls, but this is no child's play. Accepting a dare means you could be expelled, arrested, or worse. No one wants to back down from a dare, but saying yes has consequences too. So that's that one. These are all mystery thriller authors, which I think I said. By the way, let me get to the next book pulled up. Next book we have is Mad Mabel by Sally Hepworth, and this one is a murder thriller. Comes a twisty tale of justice, redemption, and one irrepressible woman who's not done breaking the rules just yet. Meet Elsie Mabel Fitzpatrick, 81 years old, gloriously grumpy, fiercely independent, and never without a hot cup of coffee, or tea, of tea or a cutting remark. She minds her own business in her quiet Melbourne suburb until a neighbor turns up dead and the whispers start flying. Because Elsie hasn't always been Elsie. Once upon a headline, she was Mad Mabel Waller, Australia's youngest convicted murderer. But was she really mad or just misunderstood? Either way, she's kept her secret buried for decades. Enter 7-year-old Persephone, a relentless little chatterbox who has just moved in across the road. Can't read today apparently. Armed with stickers, questions, and no sense of personal boundaries. Joan, who appears to have it in for Elsie and a healthy dose of public interest, the cops are sniffing around, and the media is circling like seagulls at a picnic. So that's all I'm going to read, but yeah. And then, lastly, we have, for that vlog, we have It's Not Her by Mary Kubica, which is a library book, okay? A lot of the physical books that I end up reading, I get from the library because I love supporting my, like, library and stuff. But yeah, It's Not Her, Mary Kubica, so this one, also released this year. A stunning discovery, a shocking investigation, a truth no one could have imagined. Excuse me. I'm having, this is giving me heartburn, so excuse me. Jesus, okay. Courtney Gray's tranquil family vacation is shattered when she hears a blood-curdling scream from the lakeside cottage next door. There she finds the lifeless bodies of her brother and sister-in-law. Her teenage niece, Reese, that's a mouthful. Her teenage niece, Reese, is nowhere to be found, while her nephew, Wyatt, lies asleep upstairs unharmed. As the police descend on the quiet resort town, disturbing secrets about Courtney's family start to emerge. When she learns that the town has secrets of its own, it makes her wonder if Reese is another victim in a brutal crime or if she's the killer. Courtney begins to unravel the terrible mystery, but everyone around her has something to hide, and the closer she gets to the truth, the harder it is to see. So those are the 3 books for the reading vlog, which I'm hoping to have up towards like the end of June, but we shall see, okay? Yeah, so this is going to be a very unrealistic TBR. Did I mention that? Because we have 31 books on this TBR, so it's very fucking unrealistic, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We can be Delulu for a minute, okay? Okay, so we're basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about one challenge that I'm going to be doing and the books included in that, and then I'm going to be talking about a couple books that I just put in here because I am in the mood to read them and I'm hoping to get to them and like weave them in. I don't know what this motion was. Weave them in throughout the month. So we're going to go back and forth, so that way it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay? Okay. Okay, so the first one that we are going to go over, we have, please hold, we have 6 on here to talk about. So this is the Buzzword 2026 book cover challenge. And I will leave the link to every video where I got these challenges from, like the original creator of the challenge, as far as I'm aware, or like just who I got the challenge from. So all those links will be down below. So we have the Buzzword book cover and also the book, like the just hold on, book cover, and then just like the reading challenge for Buzzword. So I'm doing both, but we're gonna cover the book cover one first. So for January, the prompt was body part internal. So I chose The Cult by Penelope Sky because it has like a skull on it. So I see his wicked smile in the theater. I see it in the apartment across from mine. I see it everywhere. A terrifying man is stalking me, and the authorities do nothing to stop it. Before I can run, he takes me, and I wake up in the forest, far from civilization. I haven't been trafficked. I haven't been put in labor camp. I'm in a cult. The men think they're demons, and they think I'm an angel. I actually am just now realizing I have no idea what this book is about. I put this on here not knowing what it was about, and wow, okay. I'm trapped with other women, but also a little girl named Claire. I love her the moment I meet her, and I make it my life's purpose to protect her and get her out of there. But she's not scared and says, I know my daddy will come to save us. I know it's something all little girls think about their father, but in her case, it's actually true. Benton arrives and negotiates his daughter's release, but I'm not part of the deal. He takes her away, but Claire fights for me the way I've always fought for her. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. It says dark romance, first installment. Dark romance, and I have been interested in this author. I've never read anything by her, but I have been very interested in her work. I hope those are the right pronouns. Now I apologize if I sound congested. Okay, it's just like it's like, oh my god, my allergies have been so bad. So then for February, we have the prompt of Silhouette, which I went with The Lake of Lost Girls by Catherine Green, which is, yet again, another mystery thriller. Now, I am doing a mystery thriller, like, bingo board challenge, which we are going to talk about for a few books, but any mystery thriller book that I talk about on here could potentially be used for that bingo card, just like unintentionally. So, told in alternating timelines, The Lake of Lost Girls is a haunting novel that will thrill fans of All Good People Here, and we are all the same in the dark. What a title. So, using suspenseful podcast clips to weave a twisty tale of a missing student and her sister who is desperate for answers. It's 1998 and female students are going missing at Southern State University of North Carolina. See, no. I'm always like, my home state is never fucking mentioned, and here we are. Freshman Jessica Fadley, once a bright and responsible student, is going through her own struggles. Just as her life seems to be careening dangerously out of control, she suddenly disappears. 24 years later, Jessica's sister Lindsay is desperately searching for answers and uses the momentum of a new chart-topping true crime podcast that focuses on cold cases to guide her own investigation. Soon, interest reaches fever pitch when the bodies of the long-missing women begin turning up at a local lake, which leads Lindsay down a disturbing road of discovery. So that's where I'm going to leave it. But yeah, it sounds very interesting. And I loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy because I loved the podcast formatting in that. So I have like very high hopes for the podcast formatting in this as well. Okay, then we have then we have March, okay, which was action/movement. So I went with Nothing Tastes as Good by Luke Dumas because the filling in the donut is like dripping out. So this one is a horror, which I haven't really read horror books. I read like one, I think YA horror, like trying to get into it, and it disappointed me, so I have not went back to the genre. But I'm giving it another try. Okay, I'm giving it another try. And it actually says thriller, but I think it's like a thriller with horror aspects to it, I want to say. So, retail worker Emmett Truesdale has never fit the Southern California mold of six-pack, suntanned masculinity. Over 300 pounds, he carries the weight of his childhood trauma and millennial I don't know how to pronounce that word, inu, around his waist and in his soul. After trying every diet under the sun, he remains stuck in his dead-end job, in love and in his body. Desperate for help, he enrolls in a clinical trial for a new weight loss product called Obexity. The treatment is as horrifying as the results are miraculous. And as Emmett sheds pounds, whenever I hear the name Emmett, I just think fucking Emmett Cullen, and I can't get it out of my head. Okay. Sheds pounds at superhuman speed. Every part of his life improves overnight. Unfortunately, Obexity comes with some killer side effects, including lost stretches of time and overwhelming cravings. Worse, people who were cruel to him have started disappearing, and when the police warn of a cannibalistic killer on the loose, he fears that Obexity is turning him into a monster. But how can he give it up now that people are finally starting to treat him like he's human? It sounds so fucking interesting to me. And then we have April, and April was accessories. So we have a mask on the cover of If You Dare by Harmony West, which I'm just not realizing I need to get pulled up. If You Dare, Harmony West. I don't know if the series follows the same couple throughout, if it's different couples. I'm not sure. The judge didn't serve justice, but the devil's will. Violet. I never meant to hurt anybody. Chloe was my best friend, and that night we were drunk and stupid. We never backed down from a dare, and the one time she did, I wouldn't let her. Even though it was an accident, no one believes me. She was the girl everyone loved, and now I'm the girl everyone hates. I can't pretend their punishments don't hurt, especially his. Her brother. The hockey captain I once called a friend. The man I thought someday might be something more. Now Wes hates me too, and he's not quiet about it, but I can't fight back because I deserve it all. Wes. Before Violet was the girl I wanted but couldn't have. Now my sister is dead, and thus she's the girl I can't stand. Violet is getting everything she doesn't deserve. Protection, freedom, her life. She gets to keep living even after she put my sister in the ground. So I'm enlisting my team to make every second of her life as miserable as possible, because that's what she deserves. Violet is going to pay for what she's done. The devils will make sure of it. So it's the first installment in the series. Masked men, bullies, spies, hockey players. Let me go to book 2 and see if Violet and Wes names are in the description. No, so it's Luke and Sienna. Okay, so it looks like the second book is a different couple. So it looks like each book is going to be a different couple. But yes, If You Dare. So it's like friends to enemies to lovers kind of thing. So we'll see. We have May, which is a border, and as you can see on the cover, which is on the screen right now, this does have like a cover around the board, or this does have a border on the cover. Anyway, this is His Empress by Amelia Rossi, because I read the first book, I read the first book before it was a series. So I read the first book, thinking it was like a standalone, and I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was like a decent, well, okay, not decent. I thought it was a good, mafia romance. I don't know why I'm giving, anyway. I thought it was a good mafia romance. And then I read the second book after it came out, and I thought it was also a good romance. And, oh my god, we found out there's a fourth book, okay? There's a fourth book fucking coming, and it's with the character that I want to book with the most. It is fucking Angelo. Angelo is getting a book. Angelo is getting a book, and I'm so fucking happy about it, but also, why the fuck do we have to wait? Because, hello, 3 of 4, and then if you go down, per angel. Okay. Angelo. Okay, I'm most excited for that book, but I need to read this book to get to that book. So, here we are. But His Empress. This is the third book in the series. It is fucking long, though, okay? Okay, all I'm going to read is this part. His Empress is a spicy, dual first-person POV mafia romance with a mafia princess hacker, scarred Bratva Pakan, accidental pregnancy, hurt comfort, and ADHD plus PTSD representation. It's the third book in the Empire of Royals universe, but can be read as a standalone. So, yeah. That's all I'm going to read, because that's really all you need to know, because that basically sums it up. So, that's that, okay? Then, I don't even need my phone for this next one. Then for June, we have Wings. So, of course, I went with Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, right? Now, I have been putting this book off, right? I have been putting it off because here's the thing. I read Shadow and Bone and I read Siege and Storm. And overall, did not like the Shadow and Bone trilogy. It did not even go into the third book. Well, I did, but I DNF'd the third book. And I'm not mad about it. However, I then picked up Six of Crows, I think like 2-3 years ago, and soft DNF'd it because it was very like fantasy-esque, and I was like, I'm not a fantasy girl. Now I'm like, let me explore every genre, right? And so here we fucking are. And I have heard that this duology is going to scar me for life. But I've also seen some stuff that's like novellas in the Six of Crows universe coming out and like being released. So I'm like, let me read this and then hop in with like the hype around the novellas. So, but Six of Crows, this is such a popular book. I feel like I don't even need to say what it's about, but I will. It basically follows Kaz. It basically follows Kaz Brecker and how many people wait. Because you have Kaz Brecker, you have Jesper, you have Inej, you have Matthias, and you have Nina. So 5. No, because you also follow what is his name. No, because what is his name? Wylan? That doesn't sound right. Hold on. Yes, okay, so you have Kaz Brecker, Jesper, Inej, Wylan, Nina, and Matthias. Okay, so in total, you have 6 characters that you are following, and I think you get all of their POVs. I think. Don't quote me on that. But I think you get all of their POVs. And they are basically a crew of, like, criminals. Okay, they do heists. So that's it for the Buzzword Book Cover Challenge books that I have that I need to do. Now, let me, please hold. Now we're going to talk about like 4 books that I am hoping to mix in to the bunch. So please hold. Firstly, okay, The Mistake, El Kennedy. I want to put all of these books. So I want to reread The Deal by El Kennedy. Then I want to read The Mistake, The Score, and The Goal, and The Legacy by El Kennedy. But I just have, one book here. But I want to read them because I want to watch the show after reading the books. I've read the first book, but I want to read the entire series first before I watch the show. And I plan on watching the show in July and reacting to it. So you can go check me out on Patreon if you want to see me react to the off-campus TV show, because I've not seen much of it. I swear, I have not seen much of the show, or like mini clips. I've seen a lot of clips of like the actors doing interviews and stuff, but if I see anything off campus related, I usually try to skip so that way I don't get anything spoiled. But yeah, I feel like this is like so famous right now. I don't even need to go into it and like what it's about. All I will say is that this is a hockey romance series in college, and each book follows a different couple. So. And then we have Ward D by Frida McFadden, because I had my mom pick a book to go on my monthly TBR, and this was the one that she chose. So I really want to get to it so that way I can tell her my thoughts on it and stuff, and if she chose, well. But Ward D is the hospital's mental health unit, and as a medical student, Amy is required to gain experience on the floor, but little do her colleagues know it may force her to confront a past she's fought hard to forget. The night starts, the countdown begins. As the hours tick by, Amy grows increasingly convinced something terrible is happening within the ward's tightly secured walls. When patients and staff start to vanish without a trace, it becomes clear that everyone on the unit is in grave danger. So, that's that one. And then my current read, like I was saying, The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards. Yeah, I haven't read much of it. I've read the prologue, and that's it. So, but The Wasp Trap. So this book, a dinner party in a beautiful Notting Hill townhouse turns into a sinister game as 6 old friends are forced to spill their darkest secrets or else. So basically it follows these 6 friends. They were in college together, and they made this like dating website. So they did a dating website based on a psychological testing, and that was 1999, and their professor passes away, so, so 1999, that's that. It's 2024 in current time. It's told in dual it's like told in past and present. So current time is 2024. Their professor passes away, so they gather to have like a dinner to reminisce about the good times in college with that professor. But the old friends are given an ultimatum: reveal their darkest secrets to the group or pick each other off one by one. So it becomes clear that the current predicament is related to their shared past. The love questionnaire they helped develop in 1999 for the dating site was also turned into a tool for weeding out psychopaths, called the WASP trap. So yeah, this is like very interesting to me right now. So then we have Tradwife by Saratoga Schaefer. Now I actually have two Saratoga Schaefer books on my TBR for the month, but Tradwife is a horror. And all I'm going to read on this is that a traditional wife influencer allows a demonic creature to impregnate her in this unnerving horror novel. What? What do you mean you allow a demonic creature to impregnate you? Hello? Anyway, it's a horror, and I need to know the hype. I need to know the hype around it, and I need to understand what the fuck is this book. So then we're going to get into the books on the Buzzword 2026 Reading Challenge, so the second Buzzword challenge. Now, I did do a little switcheroo, okay? So, as you can see on January, you have After the Fall, but I need to go back and reread the first two books and then read the third book to get to this book. And I just don't have the time to do all those rereads this month because I also have arcs that I need to get to. Here's the arcs on screen that I need to get to. I'm not going to go in depth with them, but here are the arcs that I need to get to, okay? But, so I switched that one with the August pick, which we will talk about in a minute. So for February, we have keyboard keys. So I went with the Night Shift, because shift is a key on the keyboard. So yeah, Night Shift, Alex Finley. I will say this is like the Alex Finley book that I am the least excited about, but I am excited to see the writing style and see if I like it. But this is yet again another mystery thriller, okay? The night was expected to bring tragedy, so begins one of the most highly anticipated thrillers in recent years. It's New Year's Eve, 1999. Y2K is expected to end in chaos. Planes falling from the sky, elevators plunging to earth, world markets collapsing. A digital apocalypse. None of that matters, but at a Blockbuster Video in New Jersey, 4 teenagers working late at the store are attacked. Only one inexplicably survives. Police quickly identify a suspect, the boyfriend of one of the victims, who flees and is never seen again. 15 years later, more teenage employees are attacked at an ice cream store in the same town, and only one makes it out alive. That's all I'm going to leave it. It says, twisty, poignant, and redemptive. The Night Shift is a story about the legacy of trauma and how the broken can come out on the other side. See, I did March. Okay, I read March's book, so that's gone. Okay, we have April, which was ordinal numbers. Don't ask me what the fuck that means because I already forgot, but okay, I put Final Girls though, okay? And I think this was like one of her recommendations or one of the recommendations from the Storygraph link, but anyway, Riley Sager, I have a love-hate relationship with his books. I love some of his books, and then I hate some of his books. Not hate, but don't like, okay? So, love-hate relationship, right? But Final Girls is one of the ones that I am most excited about that I haven't gotten to yet. So, 10 years ago, 6 friends went on vacation. One made it out alive. In that instant, college student Quincy Carpenter became a member of a very exclusive club, a group of survivors that the press dubbed the Final Girls. Lisa, who lost 9 sorority sisters to a college dropout's knife, Sam, who endured the sack man during her shift at the Nightlight Inn, and now Quincy, who ran bleeding through the woods to escape the massacre at Pine Cottage. Despite the media's attempts, the 3 girls have never met. Now Quincy is doing well, maybe even great, thanks to her Xanax prescription. She has a caring, almost fiancé, a popular baking blog, a beautiful apartment, and a therapeutic presence in Coop, the police officer who saved her life. Why do I feel like she's going to leave her fiancé for Coop? Just saying. Her mind won't let her recall the events of that night. The past is in the past until the first final girl is found dead in her bathtub, and the second final girl appears on Quincy's doorstep. That's where I'm going to leave it. That's where I'm going to leave it, but it sounds so good. Like, it really does. Then we have May's book, which is Make. So I did Making His by Lucy Leroy. This one is a romance. So for almost 5 years, Alex has had one obsession, and she could be his undoing. Alex Hannah's father is making an atrocious mistake. After 20 years as a widower, he's remarrying to an American gold digger and worse, inheriting a stepdaughter in the process. As if what this family needs is more children. Now, after months of avoiding a meet and greet, Alex is attending a family brunch, but only so he can give his father's new family the deep freeze. At least that was the plan until he set eyes on Aline. Not only is she quietly innocent and too timid to realize just how hot she actually is, exactly Alex's type, but when her anxious green-gray eyes lock on him, as if she's afraid of what he might do, Alex realizes those feelings are mutual. So this is billionaire, what the fuck was that? Billionaire, Greek CEO, alpha male, he falls first, forbidden romance, age gap, evil stalker, STEM/scientist heroine, friends to lovers, inexperienced heroine, no cheating, years of yearning on his side, and it's a standalone, but it's also the first book in a 6-book series. So, interconnected standalones, I guess. So then we have June, which was a one-word title. So I picked Brother by Ania Alborn. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It just looked very fucking interesting. I think this is like a romantic thriller or like a thriller with a romance subplot kind of thing. Deep in the heart of the Appalachia stands a cricket farmhouse miles from any road. The Morrows, which I just think of Clay Morrow, what the fuck, keep to themselves, and it served them well so far. When girls go missing off the side of the highway, the cops don't knock on their door, which is a good thing, seeing as to what's buried in the Morrow's backyard. Well, I have a feeling we know what. Which that is totally a Clay Morrow thing to do, so maybe it's okay to pretend, like, imagine that it's him. 19-year-old Michael Morrow isn't like the rest of his family. He doesn't take pleasure in the screams that echo through the trees. Michael pines for normalcy. And he's sure that someday he'll see the world beyond West Virginia. When he meets Alice, a pretty girl working at a record shop in the small nearby town of Dahlia, he's immediately smitten. For a moment, he almost forgets about the monster he's become. But his brother Rebel is all too eager to remind Michael of his place. So yeah, it sounds so interesting. And I saw Book Baron mention it in one of her videos, and I was like, okay, I think it was one of her, like, Goodreads, like, cleaning up her Goodreads TBR shelf, but, yeah. And then the one that I swapped January out with, so that way I could keep up to date, was the August one, because I need to read another book before the July one. So, for August is the Serial Killer Support Group, because it was groups and clubs, so, Serial Killer Support Group. Did something come in the house? Why is he barking? I might have to go see if an animal walked through the front door. Writing queer and feminist, this debut thriller is perfect for fans of Dexter, the Final Girl Support Group, and My Sister the Serial Killer. Well, I do love Dexter. I do really quite enjoy Dexter, so when Syria Griffin's younger sister is murdered by a serial killer, which I don't know if I can say serial killer. Oops. Syria knows better than to expect justice from the hands of the police department. With the investigation already dying its own slow death, Syria follows the blood trail and finds her own way forward. Using insider information, don't ask, Syria infiltrates a support group for serial unalivers by pretending to be one herself in the hopes of finding the person who ended her sister's life. Proving herself to them comes at a cost, but it's one Syria is willing to pay in the name of revenge. So, that's just where I'm going to leave it, but it sounds really good and really interesting, so let's do another few that are not on any challenges. Now, this one could, depending on where it goes, but We Won't All Survive by Kate Alice Marshall. I have so many of this author's books on my radar. When did this one come out? 2025, so last year. But We Won't All Survive is a YA mystery thriller. Everyone has something to hide. 2 years ago, Mercy Gray was hailed as a hero for saving lives during a mall shooting. She still carries souvenirs from that day, the fragment of a bullet lodged in her back, a mountain of medical debt, and guilt for ignoring her sister's warnings that the sweet boy next door was anything but. So when billionaire turned TV host Damien Dare recruits Mercy to compete on his new survivalist reality show, she can't turn down a chance at the whopping cash prize that could send her sister to college. But when she and the other contestants arrive at the off-grid location, something isn't right. The set is empty, the gates close without warning, trapping them inside, and then one of them turns up unalived. What appeared at first to be a tragic accident quickly transforms as more contestants start dropping like flies. With time and resources running low, surviving the show takes on a whole new meaning. Mercy must figure out who to trust before she's next. So, there's that one. And then Twisted Games by Anna Wong, because I need to get to this book. Okay, this book is, see, you can see where I highlighted and annotated a few things when I first read this book. And then I soft DNF'd it. Where was the last place that I annotated? So I read like 175 pages before I DNF'd it. But this basically follows Bridget and Reese. Bridget is quite literally a princess, and he is her bodyguard. That's all I'm going to say because this book is so popular. But yeah, I want to get to, like, through this book and through the third book, Twisted Hate, so that way I can read Twisted Lies. Because I have a feeling that Twisted Games, I don't know, I feel like Twisted Lies is going to be my, like, all-time favorite in the series. And then the others are just going to be, like, really meh for me, but we'll see. Okay, really quickly, these two are going to be for my mystery thriller bingo board, which I'll put up over here. So that way you guys can, like, see what spots I have left. And if you have any book recommendations for the spots that I have left, please let me know. But we have Every Last Liar by Kate Francis, which is a YA mystery thriller. And this one, there is a tragic fire at their high school. 7 teenagers jump at the chance to attend a luxury desert retreat on the first anniversary of the fire. But when they're left at a rundown abandoned motel and a sinister text message accuses them of complicity in the fire, they realize someone is playing a deadly game of revenge. So the rules are every hour, one of them must sacrifice themselves, leaving the motel to be unalived until only one survivor remains. Otherwise, they all get unalived, which is a very similar plot. Well, not very similar, but it's kind of similar, so I'll have to definitely space those two out. And then we have Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston, which, this one came out this year. All I'm going to read is, Camille Baylis, let's see, I don't want to read this entire thing. Aubrey and Camille hatch a plan. It sounds simple. For 12 hours, Aubrey will take Camille's place, Camille will spy on Ben, and the two women will get the answers they desperately seek. Except the next morning, Ben is found murdered. Both women need an airtight alibi, but only one of them has it. So, that's that. Okay, I only have 2 more that I added that are not on challenges, so let me do those very quickly. Okay, well, technically this one is on one of the challenges, but that's not why I picked it. I just really was, like, in the mood for this. And it is The Color Promises Forever by Bianca Howards. It was a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. In her pursuit to find meaning in her life, Melanie Smith moves to a foreign country to put down roots and start anew. Lulled into trusting a crafty stranger, all of her expectations regarding her journey are shattered when she's kidnapped and kept as a human pet by a man who seeks, something impossible from her absolute submission. It's captor captive, but he wants absolute submission. Hello? Oh my god, it sounds like really good. Though she initially views him as a monster, Melanie finds that her captor hides a painful past behind his desire to possess and keep her locked away for himself. Can she convince him to change for the better, or will Takeshi, is that how you pronounce it? Takeshi? Slowly bend her to his will until she inevitably breaks. There has to be a man beneath all of that monster somewhere. She has to try because he promised he would keep her forever. It was a case of being in the right place at the right time. Unconditional love is difficult to find, but as far as Takeshi Ankata is concerned, he believes it can be forged in the fires of captivity. Convinced that traditional connections always come apart, Takeshi falls prey to his wicked desires and takes Melanie for himself. Determined to create an inescapable bond with her, he refuses to let her leave from his side. From now on, he is the only thing she should ever desire. While Takeshi is lost in the darkness of his own heart, Melanie may be the only person capable of finding him if he'll let her. So this work of fiction contains mature and dark themes such as psychological conditioning, dubious consent, BDSM, sexual submission, and referenced violence, including organized crime. And this book is 637 pages. Can you see that? No, you can't. But it is 637 pages. But, and look at this cover! Well, it's on the screen. So, but, like, look at the... I really like the cover. Like, I don't know what it is about the cover, but I really like the cover. But yeah, I was just like, I really want to pick that up. And it's on one of my buzzword challenges, but I didn't put it on here because it's on one of the challenges. I just put it on here because I was really in the mood for it. And then the other one is also 600 something fucking pages, and also obsessed with the cover. I need this in paperback, hardback, whatever. I need a copy of this book because I'm in love with that cover. Like, that cover is beautiful. But this is 602 pages, so also over 600 pages. But it's My Sweet Dolly, You Have to Love Me by Cory Zahara, which I've never read, but I do have multiple of her books on my TBR, so I'm excited to see. So, Dolly, when we first met, we were just two kids with nothing in common. Different interests and struggles put a wedge between us before we could ever be friends. And then a terrible childhood trauma bonded us, bringing us closer forever. Until we became each other's everything, a light in the dark that the other needed to make it through. All that changed the night my beloved parents died. He couldn't be my comforter anymore. He couldn't be around me at all, because my words sentenced him to years behind bars. What the fuck do you mean? Ambrose, which I have beef with an MMC named Ambrose, so let's see if this man can, like, what's the word I'm looking for? If this man can make the name Ambrose be, like, not a vendetta. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say anymore. But Ambrose, I should hate her for putting me in prison. That's what I'm saying. For moving on with her life while I wasted 10 lonely years writing letters she never replied to. Which that can be such, like, a heartbreaking trope. Like you didn't respond to my letters. And they're like, what letters? That's one of the most painful fucking, oh my god, okay. That can be very painful. But hate isn't what I feel as I watch from the shadows of the family home after she returns for the first time since that night. My sweet Dolly has no idea we're living in the same house because she still can't step foot upstairs. But I like that I'm close enough to comfort her again because she needs it more than ever and she can't get it from her boyfriend. So there's other men drama, okay? I'm sure that there's gonna be cheating. We grow a little closer each time we talk anonymously. Each time she reaches out and tells a stranger of something awful that he's done, I'm there to soothe her pain. She wonders how I know her so well, how I'm able to take away all the hurt she's feeling, but she has no idea that I've been doing it her whole life. My Sweet Dolly, You Have to Love Me is a heartbreaking love story woven through a horror novel. What the fuck? It sounds so fucking good and something so fucking new to me. And oh my god, it just sounds like it's gonna be like a really good book. Then we have my Goodreads Choice Awards challenge. So we have horror, romantasy, romance, and mystery thriller. So for mystery thriller, I did Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This book basically, I think is an adult mystery thriller by her. But it basically follows Jet, who is attacked one night on Halloween. And she goes to the hospital, gets checked out, and the doctors tell her that in a week, because of the attack, she'll have, what the fuck is it called? Hold on. I know, like, she has, like, a brain injury that will kill her in a week. What is it, like an aneurysm? Yes, so, within a week, the injury will trigger a fatal aneurysm, and so she spends that week, trying to figure out who tried to kill her, who attempted to kill her. So, that's that. I am trying to do very quick because I'm sure this video is already long enough, so that's what we're doing. So that's all of the mystery thriller section. Then for romance section, what did I put on here? Okay, I put two of them on here. So I put Scythe and Sparrow by Breen Weaver. This is the third and final book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. I really loved the first book. Did not really like the second book. So I'm going into the third book with, like, not very high expectations or anything. All I know is that it follows Rose, and I think his name is Fionn. Fionn? Maybe I'm just making that up. I don't know. But it follows them. Don't really know what else. Then we have Spiral by Bal Cabra, which I'm not going to read what it's about because I want to read the first book first. But this one is like a ballet hockey, like a ballet dancer with a hockey player. The first one is hockey player and, like, I think she's his tutor or something like that. And then I didn't add any of the horror on here yet because I'm trying to save those for, like, fall time, spooky time. And then romantasy, I did not add any on here because 3 of them are going in a reading vlog. So, okay, Rose in Chains and the Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy will be in a reading vlog with another book. And then Alchemize will be a reading vlog of its own. And then Mate, I'm waiting until, like, fall time. So, the 12 challenge, so 12 months to read 12 books recommended by 12 friends. So, as you can see, okay, I have read Ignite Me on here, okay? That's been read. And as you can see, Not Quite Dead Yet is also on here. So, but then I added, please hold. So I added Carval by Stephanie Garber, which I feel like I don't need to say much about because it's such a famous, like, book, but I don't even know what it's about, so please hold. Yeah, so I'm just going to read this little what's it about thing. So, Carval, two sisters attend a magical, immersive game where one is kidnapped and the other must find her before it's too late. What? Hold on, I'm so confused. Hold on. Two sisters swept up in a mysterious competition filled with magic, heartbreak, and danger. Scarlet has never left the tiny island where she and her beloved sister Tella lived with their powerful and cruel father. Now Scarlet's father has arranged a marriage for her, and Scarlet thinks her dreams of seeing Carval, the faraway once-a-year performance where the audience participates in the show, are over. But this year, Scarlet's long-dreamt of invitation finally arrives. With the help of a mysterious sailor, Tella whisks Scarlet away to attend, only as soon as they arrived, Tella is kidnapped by Carval's mastermind organizer, Legend. It turns out that this season's Carval revolves around Tella, and whoever finds her first is the winner. What the fuck is going on? Scarlet has been told that everything that happens during Carval is only an elaborate performance, but whether Carval is real or not, she must find Tella before the 5 nights of the game are over, and her sister disappears forever. What the fuck? Oh my god. I did not know that this was what that book was about. Oh my god. Okay, I'm actually more excited to read that. So thank you for the recommendation from Emma for that. And then, because it is Pride Month, I also plan on reading Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. Now, all I know about this is that it's FFMM, because basically these two are in an arranged marriage, but she is a lesbian, he is gay. And I think he is in love with, hold on, I was trying to speak in, hold on. I was trying to type and speak at the same time, and apparently I can't do that. I think he's in love with, like, his, what is it called? In medieval England, Princess Gwendolyn, oh my god, it's a Gwendolyn and Arthur retelling. Fucking forgot that. Gwendolyn and Arthur, betrothed since birth, discover each other's secret queer romances and form an alliance while pursuing their true loves during a royal tournament. Gwen is swept off her feet by her knight, and Arthur takes an interest in Gwen's royal brother. That better be like Merlin, because because here's the thing. I've always shipped Arthur and Merlin. I don't know why, but I always fucking have. Like, watching the show Merlin, I was always like team fucking Merlin and Arthur. I really fucking was. So again, Emma suggested that, so thank you, Emma. And then we have The Prison Healer. So please hold. Prison Healer, YA, I think fantasy, yeah. Dark YA fantasy. In a notorious prison, a young healer risks her life by taking the place of a rebel queen in a deadly elemental trial, fighting for survival amidst rebellion and plague. And I think it just sounds really good. And honestly, I need more YA. So, and then the last one, oh wait, that one was by RJ, so thank you, RJ. And then for the last book, my cousin recommended, so thank you, cuz, and that is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. Now, I've read Icebreaker. It was good. I enjoyed it when I read it. Have not thought about it since I finished it. Wildfire, I am not looking forward to, because I'm thinking that Daydream is going to be my favorite of the series. But Wildfire, two summer camp counselors reconnect after a passionate one-night stand and must navigate the complications of their attraction while adhering to the camp's strict no-staff fraternization. Can't fucking pronounce it, but there you go. That's how it's going to be rule. And yeah, that's basically that. So, that's it. That's it. Those are all the books. And I am exhausted. I've been filming for like an hour, I think. So, yeah, I've got to go. And I've got to go, like, make dinner and put all these books back up and everything. So, if you guys stayed till the end, thank you so much. I actually have no idea how long this video is going to, like, turn out to be. But thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you. And I love you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing. That would mean a lot to me. If you want to support me any other way, I have all my links down in the description box below. So I have my Patreon link, which will not be active until July, so I won't actually be posting anything on there until July. But once I do, the plan is to post Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Patreon. If you just want to see what I'm currently watching or what movies or TV shows I have watched recently, I have my Letterboxd and my serialized account linked down below. If you want to see what I'm currently reading and my reviews of books before my monthly review videos come out, my Stray Graph, Goodreads, and Fable are all linked down below as well. If you want more short form or picture content from me, I have my Instagram and my TikTok linked down below. I think that's it. And if you want to like add to my ever-growing book collection, my Amazon wish list is also linked down below, but that is completely just like an option. You don't have to do it, and it's totally not like mandatory. It is just there to be an option. And yeah, if you want to ignore it, ignore it. It ain't there. You know what I mean? So, but that's that, and that is the end of this video. The next video you see, I will be going through all the books that I read in... Please hold. In May. I will be going over all the books that I read in May. That will be the next video that you will see. So I will see you lovelies and my bookish besties in the next video, which will be my May reading wrap up.